Hi there folks, welcome to Dunsy's Guitar World. What's on your mind today, Dunsy? Funny you should ask. Gigs, live gigs. So last weekend, played a gig in Edinburgh. I play in a couple of different bands. I play in a 70s rock covers band called the Mighty Grande. Excuse my cats, I'm going crazy here in the house. The Mighty Grande, we do 70s covers and we play like a regular gig in a place called Whistle Binkies. It's usually Friday nights we play from 9 till midnight, which is okay. They've on a Friday, Saturday they'll have bands from 6 till 9, 9 till midnight and then midnight till 3. So that's the basis of this story today. It's actually a tale of two gigs, two late night gigs. So the Whistle Binkies gig, Friday's cool, I leave the house about 8:30, turn up. The band on before us finish about 9:15. We start getting set up about 9 o'clock, good to go by 9:20. But the Saturday night gigs, oh dear. I don't leave the house till 1:45 midnight on a Saturday night, stone cold sober. At that time, on a Saturday night, I'm normally lying on my couch, reading a guitar book or something like that. Going out, imagine leaving the house at 1:45 midnight, stone cold sober. Anyway. And the other gigs I do where I play late, I do a lot of European shows with Twisted Nerve, and venues across Europe are open late. So we played this particular one 2019, I think it was. Played in Berlin. I love Berlin. I think this was the 5th or 6th time I played in Berlin. Love going there. A place called Cortina Bob's. Now to get to Berlin, we get the first flight out of Edinburgh in the morning, so I'm at the airport. The rest of the band like at 4:30am to fly to Berlin. It takes, it takes 3.5 hours or what, 2.5, 3 hours to get to Berlin. Anyway, it's not a huge flight. But yes, so we're up early in the morning. Whereas the gig in Edinburgh, I'm just sitting about the house doing nothing until 11:45. Anyway, so Berlin, up at 4:45 in the morning. Get to the airport 4:30. Now the Edinburgh gig, here's what happens at the Edinburgh gig, 11:45 at night. Here's me walking to the front door, getting a taxi. I have to get a taxi up the road. The thing about Edinburgh is it's not easy to get a parking place uptown at night. And between you and me, there's a lot of drunk people wandering about that time in the morning. Yours truly included sometimes, but not on this particular evening. So a taxi up the road. And we pull up at the venue, the Edinburgh Playhouse. We're playing the Edinburgh Playhouse. I wasn't playing the Edinburgh Playhouse, no, so we go past the Edinburgh Playhouse up to the gig. And the gig itself, Whistle Binkies, is just in the old town, a place called Dunsy Street. So up the road from where the gig is the castle, Edinburgh Castle. And in the other direction, down the road, about a mile, it's called the Royal Mile, is Holyrood Palace. So that's down the bottom of that road. Anyway, so we get down to Whistle Binkies. It's down this little sort of cobble street. It looks pretty dark, so this is about midnight or something like that. And it's not a big place, but the band on before us that particular night decided to use all their own equipment, so you turn up. You have to wait on them breaking down their drum kit. They had their own amps as well. It's just a covers gig. People just want to hear covers in their pub. But some people don't quite understand it. Some people insist on taking, I have to have my own gear. I can't do a gig unless I've got my own gear. So you have to hang about for about 20 minutes waiting on them getting off stage. Oh, my cat's gone crazy fighting again. I'll try and get a cat fight in this video at some point. So you're waiting on them getting their stuff off before you can even start. And here's what the pub's like when you walk in. People who perhaps had a few beers dancing about to the music. Play that funky music, as they say. So yeah, that's what it's like. It's a funny place because a lot of pubs in Edinburgh close about 11 o'clock. This particular venue is open till 3, so a lot of people have been drinking during the early evening. As you get into later evening and the pub closes, let's go to Whistle Binkies, they've got a band playing. So yes, it's an entertaining atmosphere, what can I say? It's good, so yes, that's what it's like when you turn in. And here's Dave on the drums. It's a little drum riser. It's not a huge drum riser. And the backline, I just use the house backline, like I say, you know, you've got 10-15 minutes to sort of change over between bands. So I just use the house backline. It's an orange amp, Marshall 4v12. Sounded pretty damn good. And I was using my Orville LPS75, the one I had refinished, and it has a Tone Rider generator pickup in it. It sounds absolutely fantastic. It's very good. The bass player, Ross, he's playing his Fender bass. Here's the bass and the bass amp. Hud, our singing and guitar player, he's playing a Gibson Les Paul Jr. and one of those little amps. Sounds brilliant. It sounds bloody loud, I'll tell you that. It sounds loud. I mean, even at practice we're going, what, can you turn that down a bit? Oh, it's a really loud amp. Sounds fantastic. So we get about 20 minutes to get set up and then we kick off. Meanwhile, at our Berlin gig, we get to the venue, this particular place, Cortina Bob's, we get there at 6 p.m, I think, 5 or 6 p.m, to sound check. And we're the headline band. I think there's 3 sport bands or something like that. So we sound check. And then we get ready to play. 6 hours later, we're on stage. I think we were on stage at this one at 1 o'clock. 1 a.m, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm an old man. You know, like I say, I'm normally sleeping by this time. Well, certainly lying on my couch reading my guitar books. So we get on stage in Berlin at 1 o'clock in the morning. We get on stage in Edinburgh at 1 o'clock in the morning almost. So it's a tale of 2 different gigs. Funny thing though, going to Berlin. I mean, we're up from, like I say, 3:30, 4:45 in the morning, and we're not on stage till 1 o'clock, but you don't feel tired. You know, it's just the adventure of, you know, flying to another country and doing a gig. And we only fly, most of these gigs are just one gig. We'll fly to a country on a Friday or a Saturday. Sometimes if we're doing 2 gigs, we'll fly Friday, play Friday, Saturday, fly home Sunday. This particular gig, I think we went straight to the venue from the airport or from the hotel we were staying in. So anyway, you don't feel tired because there's that energy. Whereas the Edinburgh gig, it's like, oh no, I need to get a taxi to the gig, and you're sort of looking at your watch and thinking, oh, you know, I can see this far enough going out to a gig at 1:45. But it's all rock and roll, folks. It's all rock and roll to me. She's about the Edinburgh show. We're about to go into the solo for Dancing in the Moonlight by Thin Lizzy. Now, I was filming this on my phone, and I suddenly thought, oh, shit, I need to do the guitar solo. So I had to quickly stop the phone and then wail into the guitar solo and wailing away. Dancing in the moonlight. Oh yeah. Oh. Unfortunately, that's the only footage I have of the gig because I was too busy playing. And but it's great. People are dancing, like these sort of things. People, we're just doing cover songs that people know. Here's the set list. Look at the set list. Classic 70s rock, and I'll tell you what, at the end of the night, when we're doing Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting by Elton John and Rock and Roll All Night by Kiss, it's great to see all these drunk people, you know, punching the air for I Want to Rock and Roll All Night. So yes, it's Edinburgh gig. Now here's some footage from Berlin. This is Cortina Bob's in 2019. Twisted Nerve at Cortina Bob's Berlin in 2019. Here's a couple of tunes.
Away from everyone.
Now you might notice a couple of similar things. Obviously it's a similar guitar player, it's me. I'm in both bands, but the drummer, that's my mate Dave. Dave's the drummer in both of my bands. Good guy Dave, one of the best. He is forever looking after me when we're touring wherever places and I need to get a pizza at 4 o'clock in the morning and I can't work out where I'm going. He's a good guy. So yes, drummer Dave in both bands, Dunsy in both bands as well. So there you go. Tale of two gigs. Like I say, the Edinburgh gig, 9 o'clock ones I don't mind at all because I'm going out at 8:30, which is a reasonable time to go out. May have a few beers during the gig and maybe a couple of beers afterwards and I'm home about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. But the midnight shows, you know, leaving the house at quarter to 12 at night, I think we got an extra £20 each or something like that. I mean, this is not a huge money making venture, the old rock and roll game, let me assure you. If you're in rock and roll to make money, you're in the wrong game. The Berlin gigs, Twisted Nerve, European shows, I mean, that's more about seeing the world. Yeah, I've seen a lot of different places. It's always really good fun. And you meet some characters. Well, there's not a lot of money in that, but everything's paid for, so we don't pay anything. We're there, flights, accommodation, hotels, all sort of thing. Beer, food. And those gigs are exciting from the point of view that, you know, you've probably been up for 24 hours, but you've got that sort of adrenaline going and you're thinking, oh man, here we are, we're in Berlin or wherever we are, we're in, where else have we been, Belgium and stuff like that, Spain, Holland, Norway, whatever it is. And the adrenaline's going, and there you are, 24 hours in, and you're thinking, oh, I could do this for longer, which is ironic really, because I distinctly remember looking at my watch when we left the Berlin gig. I mean, we got there, like I say, 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. We left at 6 o'clock in the morning. We were in a venue for 12 hours, if you can believe that. We spent most of it in the dressing room as well. There was a few beers going down, a few this, that, and the next thing. What can I say? Luckily, our flight home to Edinburgh was later on Sunday evening, because I was feeling a bit tired by the end of that. There you go, tale of two gigs. Tale of two gigs in two cities in two different countries. Completely different situations, but both starting about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Both good, if I'm being honest. You know, I like doing this. If I didn't like doing it, I wouldn't do it. So folks, thanks as ever for tuning in. It's a privilege and a pleasure bringing you content on Dunsy's Guitar World. Cheers for now.